Dear friends, welcome to you all. Today we have to ponder on how we can integrate our daily needs and daily work. We have our own needs to gratify or to fulfill our own needs. We should have the means. We can get the means or the financial situation through our daily work. We work, we earn, we maintain, and we fulfill our own needs. Our personal development is essential to one's effective social, family, and occupational functions. Our own development is essential to one's own effective social, personal, family life, and also to function our daily duties in a responsible manner. We human beings have several drives according to their needs. We have our own drives or moves according to our needs. They may be biological, psychological, social, transcendental, and spiritual needs. As a whole, the spiritual growth is the search of conformity with elements to the needs and necessities, drives, tendencies, and movements of every living being towards the essential good to preserve one's own life and attain the fulfillment of life. This is the procedure of life. The spiritual growth is the search of conformity with the elements to the needs and necessities, drives, tendencies, and movements of every living being towards the essential good to preserve each one's own life and to attain the fulfillment of life. One side, we have our own drives or the needs and the things to be fulfilled are essential to live a better life, to live our own life, and to attain the fulfillment of life. For that, we should have the personal growth and development to discriminate, to identify our own needs, the manner of doing the daily works, and the way of preserving our own self and to attain the fulfillment of our life. The natural desires which are common to all living beings are the drives for the satisfaction of physical and psychological needs. They encompass all the needs of survival and security of life. One side, we should survive. The other side, we should have all the securities to live a peaceful life. In the gratification of these basic needs, we should be animated by the motivations of the personal growth. One side, we should be gratifying our own needs. At the same time, we should be animated gradually to the betterment of life. As human persons, we are much more anxious to cover up all the deficiency needs. We have the natural tendency to be entangled with the deficiency needs by increasing them basing on our desire to possess an accumulation of goods. In our daily life, we are often entangled with the deficiency needs by increasing them basing on our desire to possess more and accumulation of many things. We should have some values to control the deficiency needs and to concentrate on the growth needs. Here we should have some values, some norms, some guides to control and discriminate our own deficiency needs and to concentrate on the growth needs and the needs of fulfillment. Here we have to work to take care of ourselves, to gratify all the needs of our life. To work is one of the basic needs of our survival and security. From the very beginning, from the consciousness of the human person, they are working in different ways to take care of themselves. We can do our daily works with various attitudes. We have our own attitudes. It gives meaning to our life. Most of us interested to earn more and more money. Others are willing to live a healthy and wealthy life. They like to have all the things, whatever they see. As a whole now, we are living in this consumeristic society. We want to possess many things than to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves, not only our physical, psychological needs and other needs of growth, needs of transformation and needs of fulfillment. We also have the duty to take care of other people, other persons, other cosmic realities. You take care of others, cosmic realities, with a selfless goodwill. With a selfless goodwill, we have to take care of other realities. For that, we should have the maturity, the personal growth, the growth of one's own consciousness. We have to face all the needs with the human qualities, the due relaxed attitude. That is very, very important. Most of us fulfill our own needs with a lot of anxiety, tension, worries, etc. But we have to face the needs, the human qualities with personal goodwill, the due relaxed attitude. If we have a strict or a harsh or indiscriminative, we may lose our human qualities and tendencies. According to Indian thought, there are 4 goals to human life. They are wealth, love, rule or dharma, and liberation, moksha. We should have wealth, artha it is called. We have to enjoy the realities of life, it is called karma. We should be living a righteous life, that is the dharma. We should be liberated, that is moksha. First of all, we should have the means to live a better life. We should have sufficient provisions to live and to provide the needs of our physical, psychological, intellectual, spiritual growth. Earning money and prosperity with justice and honesty is very, very important. You have to earn money We should have all the prosperities of life, but it should be attained with justice and honesty, with all the human qualities. Let us do a just work. We have the right to get the just money. At the same time, we should live a life with honesty. We have to earn money. How we earn is very, very important. The proper way, the proper means. Nowadays, people are anxious, worried and troubled to collect lot of money with unjust manner. By depriving the rights of the other people, people want to accumulate money. It is one of the signs of our time that the human personality, human persons are not yet developed according to the needs to live a meaningful life. Secondly, the karma, we have to enjoy the worldly pleasures. We should have the sensible things, psychological things, intellectual things. When we are gratifying of this, we should have that experience of being fulfilled, experience of getting those realities. We have to earn money and we have to enjoy the worldly pleasures with the love and righteousness. With love and righteousness are the basic values to enjoy the natural goods. For that we need some values. The Dharma gives the values, how to live the life, how we have to earn money, how we have to enjoy the pleasures of life. It is giving priority to the natural and spiritual values. It is giving priority to the natural and spiritual values. We should live a natural life with values. We have to grow in spiritual realities with the spiritual values. It is to have a sympathetic attitude with others. It is very, very important. In our growth, in our dealings, in our relationship, we have to have a sympathetic attitude with others. Thus, the three realities are integrated. The means of earning our own money or the other facilities of life, how we enjoy the worldly pleasures, how we are motivated, ruled by the values of life. If all the things are integrated in a proper way, there we enjoy the true liberation of life. That is called moksha. There we may enjoy the inner peace and joy. Naturally, we are affected by deficiency disease. Most of us are having this disease, deficiency disease. Always we lack something. Maybe external thing, maybe psychological thing, maybe a social relationship. Always we are in need of something. It is born out of being deprived of certain satisfaction, which is called as psychological or emotional needs. It is born out of being deprived of certain satisfactions, which are essential to live a meaningful life. Most neurotic needs involved, along with other complex determinants like ungratified wishes for safety, for belongingness, and identification, for close love relationships, and for respect and prestige. Most of us are nervous or sick because one side we are not able to fulfill the deficiency needs of life, and they are of a complication of different determinants. Ungratified wishes. We have a lot of wishes, most of them are not gratified, ungratified. We have needs for safety, for belongingness. I want to be with others. I want to be in relate with others. But most of us are not able to get that belongingness, being with the others. And identification of close love relationship. It is a problem in the present society. We don't have close love relationship. Most of the close love relationships are restricted or limited by various other factors. And also we are always looking for our personal respect and our own ego and prestige. In this complex situation, in one or another way, we gradually increase the deficiency disease. So by and now we are more and more sick of a psychological nature. When these deficiencies were eliminated, sickness tended to disappear. If you are able to remove all these deficiencies, then we enjoy the goodness, the healthiness of our life. The absence of basic need breeds illness. Its presence prevents illness, and its restoration cures the illness. The absence of basic needs breeds illness. When we are lacking the basic needs, we feel we are ill. If we have something, then we are cured. Then we are gradually restored if we have more and more. The same way we have to see how it should be done in our daily work. Each and every person has an essential inner nature, which is intrinsic and natural. This essential inner drive includes basic needs, capacities, talents, anatomical equipments, and psychological and temperamental balances. Suppose if you want to have the essential inner nature, which is intrinsic and natural, it includes basic needs, capacities, talents, anatomical equipments, and psychological and temperamental balances. We should have some balances of all these realities. This nature challenges by itself according to our psycho-spiritual growth. So this is a challenge by itself according to our nature. The growth motive should mature or nurture the nature of our need and daily work. The growth motive should nurture the nature of our need and the nature of our work. Though we like it or not, we have to perform our daily duties, our responsibilities. In this case, action is better than inaction. We should do something instead of doing nothing. Indeed, we should strive to maintain the health and strength of our body and mind. To perform our responsibilities, we should have a balance of our body and the mind. We should strive to maintain the health and strength of our body and mind. Yet, selfish actions will enslave us. Selfish actions go on enslaving us. So we have to work selflessly, without any thought of personal gain. That is the spiritual maturity. First of all, we should do our personal social responsibilities with goodwill. When human beings were created, the obligation of selfless action was also created, because man was created with a generous heart to take care of all the realities of life. God promised that through selfless actions, human beings should fulfill their deepest desires. We are called to attain the fulfillment of our desires through selfless action and selfless love. It is true that a particular need leads to another needs when it is satisfied. When a particular need is satisfied, it leads to another need. The needs are the symptoms which indicate the transformative dynamics of the person. The needs of the symptoms which indicate the transformative dynamics of the person in physical, psychological, social and spiritual aspects. The needs can take various forms in the inner depth conscience of a person according to the situation of life. According to the needs, or the needs can take various forms in the inner depth conscience of a person according to the situation. It is the inner drive which relates the being and becoming, the present and the future, the means and the end of the person. Human personality is less a finished product. Human personality is always a unfinished product. So it is gradually getting more and more a growth. Having some constant futures, it is continuously urged to change. Having some constant futures, it is continuously urged to change. These change urges are related to each other in a hierarchical way in the order of its own priority. All the basic needs may be considered to be simple steps along the path to deeper need for growth and perfection. All the basic needs may be considered to be simple steps along the path to deeper need for growth and perfection. This desire for perfection can be called as urge for self-realization, self-integration, self-creativity and psychological health, etc. The need to growth is essentially a need to give up of lower desire in favor of higher ones. The need to growth is essentially a need to give up of the lower desires, unqualified desires in favor of higher ones, higher values. It is the drive to choose the best for the self-transcendence and actualization. It is a drive to choose the best for the self-transcendence and self-actualization. The growth drive is a revolutionary one. The positive understanding of the need for growth opens up the vision of resolving the split within the person. So the growth needs opens the vision of resolving or removing the split, the brokenness within the person. Thus, we have to work to face the needs of life. We have to work to maintain our family and to take care of the nature. We work as we are. It is another important thing. If I am a healthy person, I can work in a healthy way. It may be selfish action or honest action or selfless action. Action may differ, but how I am is also very important. We have to grow as a healthy persons to do the selfless actions for the betterment of the humanity. If we are able to make ourselves grow in our psychological and spiritual aspects, there we are preparing ourselves to do the selfless actions for the betterment of others. Thus, according to the nature of inner self, we live our life and bring out the fruits of growth and development. According to the nature of our inner self, we live our life and bring out fruits of growth and development. If we have hard like the soil, if we have an inner self hard like a soil, it should be softened by good attitude and values. Rocky and thorny attitudes are the innate negative aspects. It is our own responsibility to create positive values which are essential for our goodness. The integration is achieved by having the right intellect and firmness in our actions. Here we have three kinds of distinctions of intellect and also of firmness according to the quality of the person. It is called as gunas: tamasic, rajasic and sattvic. Those who are having that tamasic intellect, the intellect which enveloped with the darkness, imagines wrong to be right and all things to be perverted. It is called as tamasic in nature. That is, it is enclosed by the darkness and imagines wrong to be right and all things to be perverted. They have a wrong attitude of life. The key to this state is our personal quality, which actually means the state of darkness and turning to backward, not willing to come forward. The mind in the state of continual darkness sees things opposite to what we are really are. Always we think that things are going and passing on in a negative way. The mind perceives in a negative way, which is really light in darkness. What is really dark is light. They do not able to discriminate where there is light, where there is darkness. This is the habitual state of a person who is having a tamasic intellect. Everything is consistently false, contrary to other realities. The same way, the intellect which distinguishes incorrectly between the right and the wrong, and between what is to be done and what is not to be done, is rajasic. It knows what is done, what is not done, what is light and what is not light. This does not mean that a person is in wrong all the time, but being right sometimes and wrong sometimes. That is our nature. Sometimes we are doing something correctly, some other time we are doing something wrong. Sometimes in the light and sometimes in the darkness. This is the experience of every human person. This is because of our understanding is imperfect. This is because our understanding is imperfect, and also because it can be clouded by various mental factors. At the root of this condition is fluctuation of the mind. We are not able to have the control. The mind, so it cannot be perfectly discern the nature of objects and action. Desires and fears defect our judgment. See, here we cannot have a proper judgment according to the values of our life. Then comes the sattvic intellect. The intellect which knows when to act and when not to act, what is to be done and what is not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, along with the knowledge of bondage of liberation is sattvic. Along with the knowledge of bondage and liberation, though we are in bonded nature, we are in the process of liberation. At the same time, we have the discrimination between the right and wrong. Intelligence and good sense are the characters of a sattvic intellect. Intelligence and good sense are the characteristics of a sattvic intellect. This embraces both worldly and spiritual matters. A sattvic individual always knows what is proper action or what is proper inaction, what should be spoken and where should be in silence. Here is awareness of both the practical and the ethical aspects of our being. The sattvic person distinguishes from when to fear and when not to fear, what is rightly feared and what is wrongly disregarded. This is a reflective reality. This is the reflective quality, for human beings are continuously being influenced by these around us as well as the conditions in which we live. So, the good quality should be gradually animating us in our life. The sattvic person is in total charge of his internal and external life, and moved by his insight into the truth of himself and all he encounters. So, he is motivated and moved by the true sight, the inner sight, to know oneself and all the things that is surrounding us. Thus, we have to understand the needs and the manner of our work in the gradual process of our daily life. Thus, we may try to integrate these values in ourselves. O Supreme Graceful Light, justice, love and peace be in all beings. Be well, be well, be well. Thank you.